Hey everyone. So I was wearing my Tudor Black Bay today, and I was thinking, this is a watch that's generated a lot of buzz, and it's certainly very popular amongst collectors. And I think this is mainly due to, it's kind of throwback retro aesthetic, and also that it's a piece that harkens back not only to the golden age of Rolex, but also to Tudor. However, I began to think, is this piece overrated? I mean, a lot of entry luxury level, pieces get a lot of flack, especially when they come with an ETA movement. And the Tudor, especially the first generation. I mean, that's the only one that came with an ETA movement. It really seems to be, kind of sought after, maybe even more so than the in-house powered movement. And I wanted to know what your opinion is on this sort of trend that I've noticed. Do you agree with it? Do you think that it doesn't really matter that this watch isn't at a movement? Is it still luxury? And more specifically, I wanted to hear from people who, think that, entry level watches, entry luxury level watches should have, in-house movements, and that if it hasn't had a movement, it's overpriced, especially if it's a 2824. And I wanted to know some of your, thoughts on why the Tudor, seems to escape this type of criticism. Personally, I think that the brand is popular in part because it's heavily promoted on social media, and especially Hodinky, they promote Tudor a lot, and I think that this isn't entirely this type of buzz isn't generated entirely on Tudor's own merits. I think that definitely if not Tudor, rather Rolex is funds this type of press, and helps nudge these articles into production. And I wanted to know if you think that that is maybe the reason why the Tudor Black Bay gets away with having it at a movement, whereas other similar entry luxury level pieces with the same at a movement are heavily criticized. So I was wondering if you guys could drop a couple comments below and let me know what you think, and why you think this is, if you've noticed this as well and you agree with me that this is something that happens.